Hey, my name's James and I'm a creative director for Click Health. I grew up in England until I was early 20s, and then I went traveling. I lived in Southeast Asia, I lived in Thailand, I lived in Australia and New Zealand, and then I came to America in 2013. I was living in New York for 9 years before going out to Colorado in 2021, where I am now. I went to university to study media production, and I kind of focused on video editing, TV script writing, and a little graphic design. I guess I'd only ever seen graphic design as specific projects, right? You design the logo, you design the branding, you design kind of that magazine, and that's kind of it. The more I kind of was involved with a few people from my travels, it started to become not this just one-off project. It was just like, how can you take a brand from beginning to end and do all of the 360 components for it? The websites, the brochures, the banners, the everything, the social. And the more I kind of felt like I could have a control on being part of everything, that really excited me. I worked for an agency in New Zealand and Australia, and I was doing a lot of consumer advertising for liquor brands and beer brands, and loved the different briefs, the impossible deadlines and timelines. My dad actually got diagnosed with cancer in 2013, and that's when I switched over to healthcare advertising, and I thought it was kind of my calling to try and help and do something different. I think we love the idea that it's real briefs. We work in healthcare advertising, and I think it really fuels a lot of the junior staff who can get stuck on kind of day-to-day healthcare projects. And I think we just love the idea of these are real briefs outside of healthcare. We always love the idea of coming at our ideas from a consumer lens, and we think that can kind of filter into the work we do. So we just think it's a really good model for them. We started an agency called Area 23 in New York on the same day in 2016, and we weren't partnered together, but we used to go out after work and kind of see each other when we used to be in the office. We always used to kind of appreciate each other's work and kind of, what are you working on, what am I working on? And even though we weren't partners, we would kind of still give each other like, oh, that's cool, you should do this, what about this? And then an opportunity came up a couple of years into working there, in which we could kind of be partners. We kind of jumped at it, and we've been partners pretty much ever since. I think it's simplicity in its idea. You know, we see a lot of hate online, and bots are all around us. Kind of the simple premise of like, are we able to use something that we all have this mutual hatred for, this online abuse, especially of women, and then bots, and could we do something with everyone's favorite buzzword, AI, to kind of turn it into something positive? I think it's trying to kind of think about the simplicity of the idea. There's so much of a tendency to try and make something too clever or too complicated, and you kind of lose sight of what it is that you're trying to achieve. So we try and ask ourselves, what is that end goal, and what is the simplest way that we can kind of go about that? And then we try and think about putting things in buckets sometimes of like, can we come at it from this standpoint? Can we come at it from that? What's a different medium that we could come at this solution and problem from? We try and pressure test ideas and against things that have already existed. Has this been done before? Has it been done in a way that we can tweak and change it? So we always kind of come at the briefs similar. Obviously the briefs change, but I think our end goal is how simple can it be and how quick to kind of convey the message that we want to get across. It's the uniqueness of being able to kind of come up with something original and having that inception idea, that little nugget, and kind of seeing where it goes. There's pushback, there's no, we can't do it like this for whatever reason. It changes, it morphs, it evolves, and I love kind of that process of figuring out that kind of first nugget of an idea and then kind of executing it in a way that kind of does it justice, but kind of looking at the process for kind of how it's changed from beginning to end. Yeah, first off, I would say don't do that. Be open, be curious. I think make This should be fun, right? But I think that because this is, and I used to have a conversation with a guy I used to live with at university who used to study chemistry, and for him, everything was mathematics. The answer was either right or it was wrong. And with advertising, it's not, it's subjective. You're always going to have ideas, even if they're the best idea in the world. If the client doesn't like it, it's not the best idea in the world for them. So you're always going to have rejection. See how you can kind of manage that. Let it be water off a duck's back. Keep pushing it. If you have an idea, fight for it. If you present an idea, present that idea like it's the best idea in the world, because if you think it is, someone's more likely to buy it than if you kind of half-ass your way through it. And if you don't believe it, then how do you expect someone else to? Hi, I'm James, and I won a merit at the NAC.